Imagine a player who'd throw himself in front of a speeding train just to block a goal. That was John Terry, one of a kind, a true warrior on the pitch. Anyone old enough to have seen John Terry get knocked out cold by Diaby on live TV knows this guy was all about doing whatever it took to win. He wasn't just playing football, he was giving everything he had, no matter the cost. So, why don't we see players like him anymore? Stick around to find out what made Terry a one-of-a-kind legend and why his type might be gone forever. John Terry retired 6 years ago, but Chelsea is still searching for someone who can fill the enormous gap he left behind. Despite spending millions, no one has quite matched Terry's influence on the team. So, how did Terry become such an iconic figure at Chelsea? How did he rise from being almost invisible to becoming a legend? John Terry was one of the best defenders of his generation, arguably the best in the history of English football. In his prime, Terry was a beast on the field. Despite not securing any major trophies with the England national team, Terry's influence as a leader was undeniable. He remains one of the most iconic captains in the nation's history, consistently delivering standout performances. Surprisingly, Terry's career at Chelsea almost never took off. He actually started as a midfielder, but with so many talented players around, he was close to being let go. Then came a pivotal moment. Due to injuries in the team, Terry was shifted to defence, and that's when everything clicked. He once shared, "At the start of my first youth training scheme season in 1997, I wasn't selected, and I was on the bench for the first 3 games. Then, in the 4th game, we played Barnsley at home, and one of our centre-halves pulled out. The youth team manager, Ted Dale, asked me to play there. We won 3-0, and I was probably man of the match." From that game on, Terry found his place in defence. He stayed in the centre-half position, delivering standout performances and quickly caught the attention of the first team. His Chelsea debut came in 1998 against Aston Villa, but he was loaned to Nottingham Forest for more playing time soon after. Jack Lester, a striker at Forest during Terry's loan spell, had nothing but praise for the young defender, saying, "Even though he was young, you could see he was a natural leader. I was convinced he'd play for England one day." Even while on loan, Chelsea hadn't forgot about Terry. Assistant manager Ray Wilkins regularly checked in on him, giving him encouragement and ensuring that Terry knew he had a future at Stamford Bridge. John Terry's rise at Chelsea kicked off big time when he became a regular starter by 2001. He snagged Chelsea's Player of the Year award and captained the team for the first time that season. But drama was never far behind. After 9/11, Terry and a few Chelsea mates, including Frank Lampard, got in serious trouble for harassing American tourists, landing themselves a 2-week wage fine. Things got messier in 2002 when an incident at a West London nightclub led to assault charges. Luckily, he was cleared in court by August, but the FA handed him a temporary ban from the national team, putting a dent in his reputation. But what makes John Terry so special to Chelsea fans is his deep connection with the club's history. He was there when Chelsea was bursting with potential, but lacked the resources to truly compete for the top trophies. Terry witnessed the club's transformation when Roman Abramovich took over in 2003 and poured in the financial backing that changed Chelsea's fortunes forever. Terry made his England debut in June 2003 and quickly proved why he was a natural leader. He started his first game in a 3-1 win against Croatia, and from that point on, he never looked back. Teaming up with Rio Ferdinand, Terry became England's go-to defender for the next decade. Fast forward to 2004, Chelsea got a new boss, Jose Mourinho, and Terry was made club captain. This was a huge deal. That year, Chelsea crushed the league, setting records for clean sheets and points. This was their first league title in 50 years. Terry was a crucial part of that success. He was named Player of the Year by his fellow pros. He even scored some big goals, including a Champions League winner against Barcelona. Not bad for a defender, right? In 2005, Terry helped Chelsea defend their Premier League title, and in a crazy twist, he had to play as goalkeeper in one match after both of Chelsea's keepers got injured. Terry, being Terry, managed to keep a clean sheet. Terry played a big part in England's 2006 World Cup run. He even made a crazy overhead clearance off the line against Trinidad and Tobago, saving a near goal with the kind of gutsy defending fans loved him for. Though England got knocked out by Portugal on penalties in the quarter-finals, Terry's performance was so good that he was named in the World Cup All-Star squad, the only English player to get that honour. By this point, he was a Chelsea legend in the making, known for leading from the back, scoring crucial goals, and stepping up when it mattered most. Even when injuries hit, Terry kept bouncing back. In 2008, he dislocated his elbow in one match, but still made it back in time to play in the Champions League final. But fate had other plans. In a heartbreaking moment, Terry slipped while taking a penalty that could have won Chelsea the title. It wasn't meant to be, and Manchester United went on to win. He won the UEFA award again in 2008 and in 2009. The only guys who managed to break his winning streak were Carlos Puyol and Paolo Maldini, but nobody else took home that award more times than Terry. As Chelsea navigated through managerial changes, Mourinho's departure, his return, and his eventual sacking by Antonio Conte, Terry was a constant presence. Over the course of his career, Terry saw 12 different managers come and go, yet he remained the heart and soul of the team. He led Chelsea to 4 Premier League titles, 5 FA Cups, 3 League Cups, a Europa League victory, and the crowning glory of the 2012 Champions League triumph, although he was suspended for the final. He wasn't on the pitch, but Chelsea made sure he was part of the celebration. Despite controversies and setback, Terry's leadership and toughness made him a Chelsea icon, captaining the club over 500 times and becoming one of the Premier League's highest scoring defenders. His legacy is one of resilience and winning, both for club and country. In 2017, he ended his Chelsea career and joined Aston Villa for one final chapter, showing the same grit and passion until he hung up his boots in 2018. In his prime, he was a world-class defender, and his longevity in the game is seriously impressive. Terry wasn't just a great player, he was a true leader. He was called the perfect captain, and it was a no-brainer when he got the armband. He didn't have to shout about it, he just led by example, just like the legends before him. For years to come, when defenders take their positions at the near post, people will refer to it as the John Terry position. He wasn't just about being a tough defender, he always seemed to be in the right spot at the right time. His ability to read the game and anticipate plays was unmatched. It's hard to argue that anyone has done it better than him. After hanging up his boots, John Terry took a big step into coaching, getting appointed as assistant head coach at Aston Villa in 2018 alongside Dean Smith. Over 3 years, they worked together to achieve a promotion and solidify Villa's place in the Premier League. And look where they are now, playing in the Champions League. Terry made a return to Chelsea, this time as the club's academy coach. But even with all these roles, there was a sense of frustration because it felt more like an ambassador position rather than a true coaching gig. Terry had always dreamed of becoming Chelsea's manager, but he recently expressed doubts about that ever happening. He shared how painful it is for him to realise he might not get that opportunity, saying it hurts that he hasn't been given the chance he believes he deserves. He felt ready to step up, but was passed over, even when he was waiting for a call from Frank Lampard during Lampard's time as manager. His former teammate Obi Mikel has spoken about how great Terry would be as a manager, emphasising how he was always the vocal leader in the dressing room. It's surprising that he hasn't moved further in his managerial career, especially with the natural leadership qualities he showed on the pitch. Terry mentioned that some might view him as too overpowering or aggressive, which could be holding him back. But he still has a place at Chelsea. There's still time for Terry, and who knows, maybe a managerial opportunity will pop up for him in the future. He's passionate about Chelsea and wants to be involved in any way he can, even expressing interest in becoming an investor, part owner someday. What do you think? Will we ever see John Terry as Chelsea's manager? Share your thoughts in the comments below. What's your favourite memory of John Terry on the pitch? If you enjoyed this deep dive into Terry's incredible journey from player to coach, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome content.